All right, let's go to the Vanguard newspaper and see stories written there. The leading story from the Vanguard newspaper says 2 appropriations in 1 year. Experts react to NAS OK's rollover of 2024 budget till December 2025. Adamawa government revokes Atiku's Waziri title over indigenship policy. Tinubu has A1 in politics, F9 in governance, says Adebayo. My purported suspension as SDP chairman, product of political mischief, Gabam says. Soludo approves construction of rehabilitation center for Ambra. Governor Aliyah condemns murder of 2 travelers on Makurdi outskirts. All right, from there we'll move to the Nation newspaper this morning. What APC must do to win Oyo in 2027? That's coming from the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. Okpebolo seeks 100 billion naira loan to finance infrastructure project. With Adedeji's FIRS, revenue keeps looking up. Why Dikorada will be returned in 2027? Lagos APC council chairman should reside in their domain. Tinubu visit to Benue, people's expectation going forward. Benue Plateau killings, we've arrested 53 suspects, says IGP. All of these headlines and some other stories will be bringing you details in a short while. Let's just go for this break. We'll be right back. The daily dose, I beg your pardon, on Adamimogo 107.7 FM, Ido-Ekiti, is what you are hearing at this time, where we're bringing it to you as they're reported in the national dailies for today. So I take the first story from the Punch newspaper this morning, or rather, we start from the Daily Post newspaper, which is a development to the story I initially wanted to take. This story says Nigerian Senate extends 2024 capital budget implementation for second time. Now it says that the Nigerian Senate has approved a fresh extension of the capital component of the 2024 national budget, shifting its implementation deadline to December 31st, 2025. The decision was reached during plenary on Tuesday, following the presentation of the swift passage of an amendment bill to the Appropriation Act. The Deputy Senate President, Senator Barao Jibril, announced this resolution following the adoption of the report by the Senate Committee on Supply. The debate for the extension for 2024 capital budget was led by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Appropriation, that's Senator Solomon Adiola, APC Ogun West. According to him, the move was to prevent the abandonment of important national projects. So that's the development there from the Daily Post newspaper. However, there have been reaction trailing that development from the Senate. Now, let's go to the Punch newspaper and see. This one says that Tinubu Nans face fresh criticism over 2024 budget extension. Now, this says the Senate and the House of Representatives for the second time extended the implementation of the capital component of 2024 budget to 31st December 2025, sparking renewed criticism against President Bola Tinubu and the National Assembly. Economists, financial experts, and the organized private sectors have described the repeated extensions as evidence of poor execution capacity by ministries, departments, agencies. Other extensions as evidence of others argued that the move may undermine fiscal discipline and complicate tracking of budget performance. The Red Chamber made the resolution to the extension of implementation of the capital component for the 2024 budget to December 31st, 2025 during the plenary on Tuesday, following the amendment of the appropriation bill requesting an extension. And that's the development there coming, from a lot of critics as put together by the Punch newspaper this morning. So in almost all the newspapers this morning, you would see the story of the National Assembly's extension of the 2024 budget. See details of this story and the earlier ones I took from the Punch newspaper and the Daily Post newspaper another newspaper this morning. All right, still with the National Assembly, Senate seek FG state synergy to harness solid minerals. Now, it's saying that the Senate Committee on Solid Minerals Development has stressed the importance of intergovernmental collaboration, asserting that no single state can successfully develop the vast solid mineral sectors without partnering with the federal government. The chairman of the committee, Ekong Samson, stated this during separate courtesy visits to the governors of Enugu and Ebonyi states as part of the committee's oversight tour of mining sites across the southeast. Speaking in Enugu after the meeting, Governor Peter Omba Samson stated that no level of our government can do it alone if we are to harness the full potential of mining in the country. There must be a winning synergy between the federal, the state, and the local governments. Those were the words there in quote. He added that the committee's visit to mining state aimed at assessing the sector and gathering actionable insights to guide national mining policy. See details of that development in the Punch newspaper this morning. The headline again says Senate seeks federal government state synergy to harness solid minerals. All right, let's go into politics now. And still in the Punch newspaper, 2031 presidency. Again, 2031 presidency. Tinubu's successor tussle fuels 2027 VP slot battle. Now, what does that mean? We'll get to know. Despite the presidency stating that President Bola Tinubu would choose his running mate for 2027 presidential poll after the All Progressives Congress convention, the battle for the converted vice president slot has continued to rage on. That according to findings by the Punch newspaper. This comes less than 2 weeks after the APC Northeast stakeholders meeting, which had been convened to endorse Tinubu for 2027, ended in chaos. APC members, believed to be supporters of Vice President Kashim Shettima, had during the stakeholders meeting thrown chair at the APC's vice chairman Northeast, Mustafa Saliu, for failing to endorse the VP as Tinubu's running mate during this speech. Saliu later clarified why Shettima was not endorsed, explaining that those doing so would have meant that Tinubu had already chosen his running mate for 2027 election. It says, and I quote, all right, it would have been inappropriate to endorse the vice president along the president because it would presume that he is the running mate, Saliu said in a national TV. The presidency and the APC source had told Sunday Punch that there were ongoing political permutations that could compel the president to drop his VP for another running mate. No fewer than 4 northern governors, 2 each from the Northeast and Northwest, and 2 principal officers in the 10th National Assembly are reported to be eyeing the VP slot. Well, our hands are crossed, and we are looking to see how that will eventually unfold. The headline again says 2031 presidency. Tinubu's successor tussle fuels 2027 VP slot battle. Neck crisis, PDP, NWC convenes as governors, INEC talks end in stalemate. Amid the escalating crisis within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, the National Working Committee has called for an emergency meeting following a deadlocked session between the PDP governors, party leaders, and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. A reliable PDP source who spoke on condition of anonymity due to lack of authorization told newsmen that the NWC is scheduled to meet today, that's Wednesday. According to the source, the INEC advised the party to consult its members, its constitution, and other documents to resolve the internal disagreement. The PDP acting national chairman, Umar Damagum, while addressing journalists after the meeting with INEC, stated that the party would consult its leadership and respond to the commission within 48 hours. The PDP has continued to grapple with internal crisis since its defeat in 2015, marked by leadership wrangling, defections, and unresolved Congress disputes across key zones. At the center of the current tension is the ongoing battle for the national secretary position between Sunday Ude Okoye and Samuel Anyanwu, the latter enjoying the support of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. That's the minister. The rivalry has deepened internal diversion and led to repeated postponement of the party's neck meeting. And that's the development there. It's all detailed in the Punch newspaper this morning. The headline again says, neck crisis, PDP NWC convenes as governors, INEC talks end in stalemate. It's in the Daily Post newspaper this morning. 2027, I don't want to jump from frying pan to fire. Ndume speaks on joining coalition. Senator representing Borno South, Ali Ndume, has admitted that he could join the coalition which is seeking to remove President Bola Tinubu from power in 2027. Ndume, however, insisted that he does not want to jump from frying pan to fire. The lawmaker stated this while speaking in a national TV yesterday night. Ndume also revealed that he has been attending the meetings organized by members of the coalition. He says, and I quote, I am aware of the opposition coalition. I have gone to several of their meetings, he said. Ndume was then specifically asked if the coalition have made overtures to him. He replied, yes, but I told them no. I don't want to jump from frying pan to fire. I have to be sure. I am a loyal person and I have. Those were the words of Ndume there. Ndume's comments come amid speculations that the coalition is looking to adopt the proposed All-Democratic Grand Alliance, ADA. ADA is a new political party that recently applied to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, for registration, and I believe that development many of us are aware of. But Ndume, coming from the side of Ndume, he says again, the headline 2027, I don't want to jump from frying pan to fire. Ndume speaks on joining coalition. Meanwhile, Tinubu could make me dump APC. Same Ndume is still speaking there. Borno South Senator Ali Ndume has claimed that he could leave the All Progressives Congress APC if President Bola Tinubu does not fix things in Nigeria. Ndume made these remarks on Tuesday while making an appearance on a TV interview. The lawmaker has publicly criticized Tinubu's government in recent months, demanding better governance from the administration. He has now threatened to dump APC if the president doesn't fix the many problems of the country. If I decide to leave APC, I would not hide it. Those were his words. In quote now, I still believe President Bola Tinubu can fix things. Failure to fix things may cause me to leave the APC. End of quote. That's the development there coming from Ali Ndume. Tinubu could make me dump APC, says Ndume. Still in the Daily Post newspaper, mixed reactions trail Makine's plan to renovate government house with 63.5 billion naira. It says mixed reactions are trailing plans by the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, to renovate the government house with a sum of 63.5 billion naira. Agodi Government House, previously known as Okelbo, was constructed during the colonial era. It has served as the official residence of governors, civilian militaries who had governed the state in the past from the defunct western region of Nigeria, Western State, Old Oyo State, and the present Oyo State. It was gathered that since it was constructed, previous government had at one time or the other renovated the edifice. Governor Makinde has announced his plans to renovate the government house. Makinde made the declaration during a recent event held in Ibadan, the state capital, and there have been controversies going all around. And from the APC, it says, resign your decision now. The Oyo State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has advised the governor to, reconsider his decision. Then SPN, that's another person, SPN, tackles Makinde. Oyo State chapter of the Socialite Party of Nigeria is also reacting to. Then APC chieftain Alao tells lawmakers and residents that they should demand accountability from Makinde. Those were some of the reactions there coming. Mixed reactions trail Makinde's plan to renovate government house with 63.5 billion naira. All right, 070 700 777 or 070 72766 Hello, good morning from wherever you might be calling us from.
Speaking.
All right,
So I want some 53.5 billion to renovate. Well, it's level there for all of them call money like paper. Criticism important to checkmate federal government of policy in Nigeria. I very grateful with people for that. All the world is stage and all the men and women really play, they have their exit and one man or woman in this our time. Please play many parts in any position you are today within your friends and family, even your community not left out. The richest people or politicians ruling now, you need to ask yourself, did I perform to the extent of people to recognizing of your contribution in the society? Are you a giver to the needy? If not, you remain that source. Now, of Ekiti, I made the governor Oyebanji graphically deliver the dividend of democracy to Ekiti people towards road realization, construction of new bridge network Ekiti, and fiscally youth empowerment ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún àwọn tí ẹ̀kọ́ omi àti ìjìnlẹ̀ láàmú. Now, tormenting his position as the fourth joint governor and the name Ajiabao Lojude, which ironically coincided with his.
All right, we need to pick other calls now. Thank you so much for your. All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's take other calls. Other calls this morning: 070 700 7701 or 07072766278. I'm taking this story from the Nation newspaper, which is still in Oyo State. What APC must do to win Oyo in 2027 by Adelabu, that's the Minister of Power. It says that the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, said political gladiators in Oyo APC, that's the All Progressives Congress, must be willing to shift ground to ensure the party's victory in 2027 election. He stressed on genuine reconciliation with aggrieved members of the party, urging the State Executive Committee, ESCO, of the party to tackle the issue with seriousness. Adebayo said reconciliation is about sacrifice, adding that nothing could be much more or too much for members to sacrifice for victory. He says, and I quote, "We must be ready to take some compromise and shift grounds to achieve the main goal of reclaiming back the state from the current PDP government." End of quote. The minister further said some of that things, but see details of that in the Nation newspaper this morning. And quickly, before we wrap it up on the show, let me just take this story from the Vanguard newspaper, where it says Tinubu has A1 in politics, F9 in governance. That's coming from Adebayo. It says that in an interview, that's the presidential candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Adewale Adebayo, has stated that it's quite a different interview this morning, but details of that is in the Vanguard newspaper. All right, let's speak this call. Hello, good morning. All right, we lost the call. And that's how much we can take on this show on this morning's edition of the Daily Dose on Adamimogo 107.7 FM with Ekiti. Another beautiful edition will return tomorrow. Until then, my name is Oladoyin Ayegbusi.